Hello guys, I hope you guys are well. Just wait for some people to come on quick before we start. Sorry for being a bit late. Just busy sorting some things out quick here. Hello Mr. Hall, hi everyone. Just give me a quick 2 seconds and then I'll start. No, Mr. Hall, never. Some days it is, some days it's not. Hello, Mom. Hello, Angelique. Hello, Warren. Lekker, Chris. Anyway, okay, I'm not gonna suckle with this thing anymore. Alright, cool. So, welcome to everyone. I hope everyone is well and grateful to be here. I've been sober on a youth day. Yeah, it's been a while since I've shared. Been pretty busy with life and having life things to do. 2 amazing shares after each other. It's a bit hard to keep up, or actually trying to follow on. The doctor shared an amazing story last night, and with Kurt and Mr. Hall, and doctor here, and so I'm just gonna express. They asked me this afternoon, 12 o'clock this afternoon, if I could share. And so I scrambled around a bit, but actually, why am I so nervous to do things like this? I should just actually share it as it is. So I've actually just written down some things, and I'm actually sorting out just the reading that I have with what I'm going to speak about tonight. And happy Youth Day to everyone else. Because this is an important day for our youth, and Coach Schuler gave me the idea of, listen, why don't we share for the youth, share a message about them, and be the example of it. So that all comes across together as the step 12 for me, sharing the message to our fellow human beings and fellow addicts in life, where it was how it's been for me, how it is going to be, and how we survive out here, and hopefully some sort of message would get across to the younger ones in life. And as the doctor said, she's got children of her own as well, and we can only let them give them strength of hope, and for those that it is going. Yeah, I'm drinking coffee now because it's quite cold over here inside my new flat, and me and Joni are doing very well. So, good evening, everyone. Okay, so I'm going to first start off with the serenity prayer, and can we just have a moment of silence for the still suffering addict outside, and the ones that don't have warmth tonight or do not have found a new way of life, and give them just a moment so they can fight, and the ones that are suffering from COVID-19 outside there. Say the silent in the moment serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, cool. So as you all know, I'm Richard Ferreira. I'm 29 years old. I was on the farm for 2 years and 8 months. Came there broken, nothing, absolutely hopeless, faithless, jobless, and absolutely had nothing behind my name. The only person I had that was helping me was my mom, who still believed with me and stick with me, and she's on here tonight. So hi, Mom. I love you lots, and thank you that you are here to listen to my story and to hear my thing, what's going on. And just respect for everyone, all else's mothers outside there as well, for being there and for helping their child, even though we've given you the most grey hairs in your life. Yeah, thank you for staying by us. And I don't think the biggest person there is our person, is our mothers, who was there always till the bitter end, you know. Okay, so when I came to RAEL, I had nothing. I had no emotional support, as we like to say on the farm. That listen, we we are fucked in the head. Excuse me for my language, but I became like a oil ball. You know, the drugs completely ripped me from my outside, and definitely ripped me internally, emotionally, spiritually as well. And sorry, Mr. Hall. I'm just busy setting everything up for a great meeting, you know, the ones that you've literally taught us all. And so when I got there, I needed to be taught a lesson, man. Needed to be able to calm myself down, calm my minds down. All the outside exterior effects I needed to put aside, let God control it, and then I could focus on myself. You know, the world is going out 120 kilometers an hour outside, and once you come into RAEL, you've actually got a point of going at 60 kilometers by sorting everything step by step out. Now, me as a typical addict, I always wanted to sort everything immediately out, you know, at once. And that should never have happened. That could have never happened, you know, because how can I fix 12 years of destruction and mayhem in literally 1 month? And yes, before it gets mentioned, I did run away for luxuries after 1 month, you know, but you know, it was part of my recovery. Everyone's recovery is the same. Everyone wanted to give up. I was always, how can I say, I was always trying to be the center of attention out of everything. You know, I always wanted to be the party animal. I wanted to be the main man, the guy that everyone can cater with, showing everyone that life is great, showing everyone that that no matter what, you know, I can enjoy life. You know, I had a very fairly easy life, or bringing up, thanks to my mom's hard work, and thank you to my mom's complete sacrifice that she has done for me, always helping me where I wanted to, always bailed me out of jail, always did this, always did that. I was most probably not the person most liked by my mom, but yet she loved me, and I will always stay very dear to her for that. What I've done is basically I've robbed, steal, used drugs, do everything. Everyone's got the same same story, but I'm not going to elaborate on the war stories tonight. I'm actually just going to talk about a topic meeting tonight of why we do this, and why we actually share share our motives, share our stories to people, because that's the only way that we could give what we have, and the only way we can give it is by giving it away. You know, it doesn't make sense, but yet it does. So my experience, faith and hope can walk towards it. My motive of sharing tonight is for this message to go around the world, you know, for this message to go to your homes outside there, whoever's watching. It's my message, my motive for sharing tonight is just to remind us, why were we doing this? Why am I doing what I needed to do? You know, I'm just looking at myself now. I've got the RAEL shirt, top. Thank you, Mr. Wall. One of a kind. Keeps me nice and warm during the day. And you know why these groups are so important to me as well. And I try to watch as much as possible if I'm not working. Thank you, Shula. Like looking good. What I'm going to speak about is the 12-step. Now, step 12 says having a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. We try to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Now, we can take the addict out of it. At RAEL, we learn to we put principle before personalities. We as an addict, we are still human beings. We were just doing bad choices, making bad choices, basically. So we can take the addict out. We can actually say, carrying this message to fellow human beings. You know, the ones that also made bad choices, that are not addicted to drugs, that are not scamming or fucking everyone around in their life, you know. I mean, the most top successful businessmen have got worse things in their life, have got the same problems as we do. You know, I always say that that no matter who you are, you've always got skeletons in your closet, you know. Everyone has got bad things that they've done. Everyone has bad choices. So I'm smoking RG, menthol, you know. It's not as Lani as Kurt and Mr. Halls, but it's something at least. If it burns, it's okay. And what we can do is carry the message to the people in life, and this is what Mr. Hall is doing. You know, he's sharing and carrying the message daily through the Facebook messages, through this live feeds that we are doing. You know, I can only do it by being the example to him, and that's when it says of practice these principles in all our affairs. And only the reason when I can do that is when I have a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. And this is why we do it. You know, I'm here to share the moment of hope, the moment of my message, you know, to the still suffering addict outside there. And hopefully someone can show this actually to one of the children that are in high school, just to show how it was. I was a Springbok Wrestler when I was 19 years old, you know. I achieved very big heights, and I toured around the world, traveling around, giving everyone, basically competing in the biggest tournaments in wrestling. And I was literally one moment shy of getting to the Olympics, you know. And at that point of time, God still managed to put me through there. I was smoking weed, I was drinking every weekend, I was doing body drugs, and yet again, I still got as far as where I did back then. So God was very good with me. But then the most insane thing happened is when I injured myself, and that's when I gave up, you know. I thought it would never be there again, this and that, and more important things happened in my life. So the things that I've done, I shouldn't have not been able to achieve again while living, you know. I had my chance, I had a great chance, and I screwed it up because drugs and everything was more important. People were more important, my friends were more important. Not looking at the ones that loved me, not looking at the ones that try to help me to get where I am. It was selfish Richard, left, right and center, you know. He always wanted what he wanted and screw everyone else that wanted to help him, you know. And I apologize if you're on here tonight and I fucked you over. Please excuse me, please ask for big sorry to whoever it is, you know. I have to make amends to my things, otherwise I don't free myself of certain things in my life, you know. And then I sit with that feeling and resentment and anger. So the 12-step, what it means to me is that I can literally I can show people a way of life, you know. I could be the example towards them, you know. And I've only learned that through Mr. Hall and Kurt Schuler. You know, I had some other people and the sober living. Please don't let me forget them. I could only have taken examples from them. You know, I remember coming to the program first and literally sitting there. We used to have step 10s at night inside the house back long time ago, and things were different back then. And I would literally see the group of people, the sober living, sitting next to Mr. Hall, and I thought to myself, wow, I would want to be there. And I would love to be part of it, you know. Sober livings were also a bit hard on a person back then, but it made me the man who I am today. You know, I would have never been able to survive in this world outside if there wasn't any heart of people outside there, you know, and helping as the sober living. And they will always be the example, sharing the message, trying to help everyone where they can. And obviously there was a little bit, I made a lot of faults, but those faults defined me as a man back to where I needed to be, putting me back into my place. Knowing that my thoughts and everything was insanity, what I've done, my thinking has brought me down to RAEL, brought me down to the gutter below everyone else. I had to walk on Voortrekker Street with nothing, and that's unfortunate because I over exaggerate over things. I either want to be the best or I either want to be the worst at things. So when I wanted to drug, I wanted to be the best at drugging. That's just my personality. I think I got it from wrestling as well, but we leave it from there. So what the 12-step means to me is like we do this as a service to people. Service is the fundamental of staying sober. I take myself out of myself. I need to help with people. I do currently service position now at one of the NA Edge meetings. I'm the chairperson there, and each week I have to but chair a meeting, letting people share and organize the share and things like that. These are things that I never had interest in back when I was addicted. These were things that never crossed my mind, and even though it doesn't run as well, at least the message is being shared over here, and exactly what we are doing here. I miss always these RAEL meetings because yet it was hardcore. You would get chills in the bones, literally, and when you walk out you have this gut feeling of all the things, when you lay at night and you think of the things that you have done in your life, and you just and how things could have changed, how could have gone for the worst. Walking out of those meetings, those are the ones that has healed me the most, and helped me get where I need to get. So there's nothing like RAEL's meetings that are straight to the core, hardcore of all, and I miss that because that was helping me to get where I am. Mr. Hall, rehab talk, I need to have the lingo, as we all do. Otherwise, I have to adapt to my situation, what it is. Okay, so I'm just going to do a small little reading from the step working guide, because just to show you guys that I do some step work, and I actually do read literature, and it's just something that's talking about sharing the message on step 12. It's basically plain and simple how I see it, and how we should not take it when we try to help people in their bad of circumstances, how we could share the message of hope towards them. Hi everyone, I see everyone saying hello and everything, hello. And it says sometimes it's challenging to carry the message. The person with whom we've decided to share this message seems unable to hear it. This can range from someone who keeps relapsing to someone who keeps choosing destructive behavior. It's tempting to think our efforts are being wasted and we should just give up on such a person. Before we make such a decision, we should think about the all mitigating circumstances. Say we're sponsoring someone who just isn't following our direction. We've suggested a writing assignment and don't hear from that person again until a fresh crisis is brewing. We've shared with all the enthusiasm we can summon about our own experience with the situation the person is facing, explaining in great detail how our disease presents and how we use the steps to find recovery. But our responsees keep doing the same destructive thing over and over again. This can be frustrating, but before we give up, we need to remember our choice isn't whether to carry the message, but how we carry the message. Now that is just an amazing thing, Oh gosh. Yes, okay, let me more say, guys, I crashed the bakkie while I was on my phone. Please excuse it. Well, that's why it's coming on. The rails bakkie, excuse me. And by the grace of God, it got fixed, and I thank Mr. Hall for it, and thank God for it. It's just a series of words again from Graham saying that, that nothing can ever be fixed. So, I'm not ashamed of saying the wrongs that I've done in my life. Now, what I get out of this message is I think immediately of Mr. Hall. You know, you sit on a farm with 30 different people from different personalities, 30 different cultures, 30 people that have been raised beautifully, but yet have made wrong choices. We think they know better in life, you know, where we have to sit back and listen actually to him, you know. And I feel the thing with Mr. Hall and Mr. Kurt, you know, working with 30 different personalities is insane, you know, and we can only be what we have to, because if one of them crack, the whole system cracks, you know. And that's how we are supposed to be with our working situation. That's how we stand our man. And I believe that this is something that Mr. Hall has taught me immensely, is to stand what I believe in. You know, the message that I need to give to the people is my own personal experience towards people. You know, sure, 8 months. My personal experience to someone. You know, our situations are different, but the story and the solutions are always going to be the same. I remember still the day that one day I was tripping so hard I couldn't handle anything. Work was going wrong. I was fighting and I was just not, something was gelling. And Mr. Hall just said 3 words to me, and he said, "That is life." And that just hit me, you know, that you know that life is going to throw us curveballs. Life is going to throw us curveballs. Life is going to give us challenges, you know. And I was just on a meeting now before this, and they were speaking about challenges in recovery. You know, it's easy to say that, oh, life is a challenge and everything, but I want to know the nitty gritty, man. I want to know what challenges is. I want to know the challenges that relationships have. I want to know the challenges that a new apartment has. I want to know the challenges by moving and giving yourself to something of a work or a job or a person. I want to know those things. And people are too scared to speak about those things, but we're not, you know. And that's what we get taught here at RAEL. Those are the situations that help us recover. You know, I don't want to hear about how great everything was, and I know the rewards of recovery. We read the rewards of recovery. The promises are there. And, you know, I can read it up, I can go on to Google and everything, but no one can describe their life situations to me. And that's what makes us addicts so strong. You know, we are the ones that can tell you, listen, I know how you feel. I've been there, but I know the way out. You know, and that's what makes us such strong people. People think we are wise, but we are not. We are just a bit more experienced in life situations in our life. You know, some people might not like what we have to say, but you know what? It keeps me sober and keeps me at bay. You know, with that, we can't blame anyone else. Or I can't blame anyone else if I relapse. You know, I heard that again the other day in a meeting that they say relapsing is part of recovery. I say that's the biggest bullshit in the world. You can't relapse. If you want to relapse, then why? Or why have you been recovery? We need to stand strong. And we're only with great support, great people, and tough love, we will stay strong. We will not be defeated. But if I want it, I will do anything and everything to do it. I'll humble myself and listen. And that's what I say thank you to Mr. Hall and Mr. Kurt Sugar for. I say thank you for RAEL for. Because they are the ones that even though I couldn't even speak or I was frustrated, they were the ones to come to me. And especially the sober livings as well, to put me on and put their arms around me and tell me, you know what, you'll be okay, man. Don't worry about it. And yes, Mr. Shula, I agree with you. We need to carry this message to our youth. Dick sticker. You know, I don't want to be one of those guys standing in front of the school hall being judged. But yet again, you know, maybe I should be. Maybe I should go speak out to millions, because I know I'm a miracle working in today. And it's only through God's grace that I do. I'm going to go on with the reading. We need to get our own egos out of the way. We don't take credit or blame for someone else's recovery. I can't take the blame for someone relapsing. It's his choice at the end of the day. If I want to relapse, I mentally relapse first, and then emotionally, then I pick up the drug. If I don't catch that catch that pattern, then it's my own responsibility. It's my own fault. I need to stop myself where it is. We simply present the message as positively as we can and remain available to get when we're asked. We also need to remember that we can't possibly know what's going on in other person's minds or spirit. Our message may seem to be missing in its mark, but perhaps the person just isn't ready to hear it today. And that's how it is. Huh? That's exactly how it is. We can repeat and repeat and repeat, but sometimes people don't want to be open-minded. I can guarantee you now that 30% of my stay at RAEL was people-pleasing. I stayed there because I knew I was going to get the key back to the door. Luckily enough, God has put his blessing over me to realize that, listen, you can't go on like this. And then the message was clear through to Mr. Hall, through to my mom, and through from the sober livings. It may be the words we spoke will still stay with the person for a long time and may resurface at exactly the right moment. If we think about it, we can all recall things we heard NA speakers or recovery speakers say when we were new that we didn't understand at the time, but which rose up in our minds years later and gave us reason to hope a solution to a problem we were experiencing. We carry the message. We carry the message. That's the difference. I can share my message, but if I carry it, I be the example. It's the action that I do with it. I can't be example if I'm the one cracking through everything. I can't be the example if all my emotions are flying out of the window. I need to be the strong, the firm of it. I can't tell you to do something if I haven't done it myself. We like to say that on the farm. We can't tell you to clean the toilet if I haven't done it myself. And these are the things that you learn. Our moms, we think that we know much better than our moms. We never thought my moms are 21 years old. You'll never understand, Mom. You're just an old timer. That's just insane. Sorry to say this, if there's any people who will take it personally. It's like saying my mom never had sex. It's like, how the hell am I here? It's insane. If we think about it, we can recall things we heard recovery said, we knew, didn't understand. Okay. And we share it freely, but we cannot ever force another person to get the message. I cannot force anyone else here to get this message. I've got the message of hope. And my hope today is that anything is possible in recovery. From a person down from Voortrekker Street, mixing with Congolese drug dealers, hopeless, careless, but back to getting his Protea colors in wrestling. Back to having a relationship, moving in with the most beautiful woman in this world. Back to know that hey, I'm a normal human being. I can live life. I can do this. And we can do this. We're the most hardworking, determined people in this life, because my determination and motivation for drugs, if I can change that into work and to living, hey, nothing can stop me. The principle that applies to our fellowship's public relations policy, it's attraction, not promotion. But this time we do promote RAEL, because RAEL's got a different approach to everything. It may also be the case that we are not the best person to sponsor someone. Individuals have different needs and learn in different ways. Some people may thrive with one sponsor but do not well with someone who has a different sponsorship style. Some sponsors give a lot of write-in assignments, which they do in RAEL. Some of them insistent about their sponsors going to a certain number of meetings, which we do. Some of them are very proactive, while others may simply respond to sponsors' stated needs. No type is better or worse than other. They're just different. Okay. Another time we might find it very hard to carry this message is when we're not feeling very positive about life or recovery. Now, that's where the difference lies. I can have the worst day, but I can't let it influence my doings, my needs, my routine of day. I can't have a bad day and walk in here and say, stuff this, I'm not going to clean house, I'm not going to make food, I'm not going to do this, because it just puts me back. Life happens on life's terms, and I need to stand up to it. I need to carry the message. I need to carry myself through it. It is probably our first impulse to go to meetings and dump all our problems out so we can purge them from our own spirits. But recovery meetings exist to provide a place to carry this message, and this is what this place is for. No, Mr. Schuller, I'm not taking anyone's inventory. I'm speaking to myself here. Dumping our problems without trying them to recover, or trying to make it clear. What the message is doesn't further the primary purpose of our groups. We can carry this message even if we just point out that we're having terrible problems, but are not using over it, and that we're attending a meeting and reaching out to work on a recovery. Remember, if we put our recovery first, everything else will come afterwards. I need to focus on that. If my recovery is wavering, it's like loyalty. Loyalty wavers, betrayal's not very far behind. If my recovery is wavering, relapse isn't very far behind. And that I need to make sure of that, And I've got my different way of working recovery. Thanks to Mr. Hall for teaching me that. We've all got different ways of doing recovery. But yet again, it's still the same that needs to happen. It still has the same purpose, the same structure. The best we can carry this message even if you just point out that we're having terrible problems and not using over it, and that we're attending meetings and reaching out to work on recovery. In most cases, though, the best way to carry the message is to focus on the newcomers in the room and tell them what's good about recovery. We should also keep in mind that sometimes, no matter how long we've been clean, we need to hear the message. And if we sit quietly in a meeting, we would have a good chance of doing so. And that's my message for this evening. The 12-step. I carry this message. I'm a result of a mother's prayer. I'm a result of God's grace. And I'm the one that helps. I'm the result of what recovery can do for a person. Like Mr. Hall says, from the park bench up. I'm from Voortrekker Street up. But yet again, I cannot forget where I come from. And if I don't share where I've come from, that's where the difference is. I've been in interventions. I've spoken to addicts that are relapsing. It's amazing. It's crazy actually to see how many people are falling these days, especially during the lockdown and there's no meetings. The fact of personal connection. It's how drastic it is. But everyone is making excuses. My recovery doesn't respond on someone else's thing. How can I say? Presence in front of me. My recovery is dependent on myself, my state of mind, how I want to run things. If I'm going to give up of everything, then I might as well just go drug. Thank you, Ma, and thank you, Doctor. Your message last night was amazing, crazy thing. My knee's okay, DJ. Yeah, sorry guys, I was in Africa Championship in February, and my first match I tore my cross ligament in my right knee, and by the grace of God, it's amazing how things are happening, because the Olympic qualifying tournament was supposed to happen in March and COVID-19 happened, so it's been postponed till next year, which gives me time to heal my knee and get going again. So God is great. God is absolutely amazing. And yeah, it's crazy how people are relapsing left, right, and center. The recovery is not weak, I would say. It was for backup buddy Mr. Hall. I won't say the recovery is weak, but yet, that the urgency for recovery is not there. We complicate recovery too much. It's a simple program for complicated people. Thank you, Chris. You are the man as well. Sorry, guys, that's my employer, but also a very good friend, and it's great to work with him. Not that it wasn't great with Mr. Hall and them. Please, before that comes out, it was amazing. You guys taught me way more about life, and it's thanks to you guys I'm putting back where I've got. Yeah. Life is hard outside. It's not the most beautiful of things, but yet again, if I didn't learn the things I did on the farm, I wouldn't been able to sit here today. I would have lasted a month outside here. I would have most probably thrown everything away, you know. I needed 2 years and 8 months after my 12-year addiction. I needed hardcore recovery to save me, because I'm a stubborn person if it comes to it. I'm still stubborn. Yet again, it irritates a lot of people. But yet again, you know, if I know what is right, then it's right. And listening as well, yes. Today I'm just going to talk about as well of the Just for Today on the 25th of July, if you guys have it. And this is also good. This helped me a lot as well. And it says, having a spiritual awakening result of the steps, we try to carry this message to addicts and practice these principles in all our affairs. Tonight, this meeting that I'm giving, this is what it says. There's no such thing as a failed 12-step call. You know, if we share this to everyone, there's nothing like a failed one. It's the person that responds to it. That's where the difference comes. Even if our prospect doesn't get clean, we have accomplished two purposes. We have planted the seed of recovery in the mind of the addict, with whom we have shared our experience, strength, and hope. And we ourselves have stayed clean another day. Rarely does a recovering addict leave a 12-step call with anything but a deep dose of gratitude. And that's exactly how it was when I went to do interventions. When I went to go pick up one of the members, in the airport, I was doing a 12-step call. That man didn't want to leave that airport because he wanted to go smoke a button before he went to rehab. It's complete insanity. And I was standing there, and it's not a small guy, it's quite a biggish guy. And I was the one standing there, and I'm standing in between him and his mom, and telling him, no, my bro, no. But I can only give my message of hope. I can't force someone. Although, if it had to be forceful, it would have been a different situation. Sometimes we are practicing the 12 steps without realizing it. When our co-workers and other acquaintances know some of our history and see what kind of person we are today, they know where to go when they have a friend or loved one in need of our help. We are often the best attraction that recovery has to offer. And that's everyone. That's from Garth to Gladwin to Mr. Hall to Mr. Kurt, Graham, Leroy, Adrian, Angus. If I forget someone, please excuse me, but yet, that's the message that we are. We are the best attraction to everyone. Sometimes, for many addicts, 12-step is a cornerstone of recovery. We truly believe that we can only keep what we have by giving it away. The paradox of the 12-step is evident, for in giving, we receive. Just for today, I'll remember that I'm a living example of the 12-step. I cannot fail when I try to carry this message to another addict. I can't fail. And yes, that is. Service is the fundamental thing of all my recovery. That's the one that's what helps me to stay focused, to stay positive. This share is helping me more than the one who's receiving it. Because I could actually be of service to people for a change. I can actually be the cornerstone in my recovery and to help them. And I love all of you guys as well. Thank you for your positive messages. You guys are really making this nice and easy. How do I carry this message? How do I carry this message to everyone? Is to be the example. To keep doing what I'm doing. To do my routine. To wake up every morning. Be grateful for what I have. And to do my best. If I can come home after I did an honest day's work, then I'm doing alright. Although materialistically things might not be there, but yet it will come. Seek the face of God or the kingdom of heaven, and all else will come. That's the best way I can describe it to people. That's the best way I can prove myself to it. You know, I can tell you what to do, but how are you going to react to it? How the addict's going to react to it? Because if I don't explain to him what I've been through, where we've gone, and what we have done in the life, how they're going to relate to us. You know, yes, klomp entries. I bought myself a carton. RG blue. But yet, the message I carry could be a strong one or it could be a weak one. But it's my message. My mess becomes my message. And my test has become my testimony. And that's all that we need to have. I can show, we can show people how to live. I wish children or normal people in life, well, let's say classified as normal, could have the program, the 12 steps. This world would be a much better place. Where instead of taking everyone else's inventory, they take themselves for a change. And I forget to do that as well. I'm not sitting here as a saint. No. I wouldn't be in here if I was a saint, because I would have not been doing recovery if I was a saint. But yet, I realize my faults. And then sometimes it does take a pointing out. Sometimes it does take a pointing out. Sometimes Joni has to tell me, hey, you've been a doer, sir. And I have to accept it. And I have to think where I am. And sometimes I'm stubborn enough not to listen to it. I'm sorry, Liffy. That's just the beauty of this recovery. We can all relate to so many things. And the way that this government is running this country right now, it's beautiful that we've got a service like this that can share us our hope and our strength to everyone else. People can take what gets sent here or said here, and people are actually watching. I mean, there's 41. It's the most. There was none. It was 53. It's the most that we've had. I've had since I've shared. You know. But yet I can't forget the work that I needed to do. I can't forget how hard I had to work. All the cuck-out sessions, all the fucking doing the wrong thing, the out of exchangeness, the the personal battle, because yet again, Engellief, the personal battle of waking up and going on each day. I had to fight myself to it. And that's just amazing what it is. I never gave up 5 minutes before the miracle happened. I never wanted to give up, because if I was willing to do anything to get my life back or even more, I was willing to go through what I was. And that was challenges that were coming. The times me and Joni were speaking, the times on the farm, the times where it was not the best, that was extreme, but the best thing of it was that the good times always overran it. We had the most amazing times on that farm. I had the most amazing times, where it was joy, fear, sad, remorse, everything. Blood, sweat, and a lot of tears. And that's what is recovery. And yes, we're still keep walking on the narrow road to freedom. That road is narrow, but thanks to the support I have of RAEL and that I could speak to, that's just that keeps me on my narrow road, you know. Lange inches, they say. So tonight, I implore the youth, I implore you guys, I challenge you guys to share this message. I challenge everyone to be a step 12. I challenge you guys to be the better human being. To raise addiction for awareness for addiction, and be the men that God orders to be. We do not want to see our country flame. We do not want to see our country go down, and how this country is treating our younger generation of people. I'm scared to have children in this country, literally. It's not my fault I'm white, so don't make it my fault, if you understand what I'm trying to say. It's unfair, but yet again, it comes down to one word, and that is acceptance. I need to accept the things I cannot change. And that's the best way to do it. That's the only way that life can handle. If I can't handle the things of life, then I might as well go and drug. Because I can tell you, our parents and our mothers and fathers and uncles and aunties, I think what they had to go through to put us through our addiction. And yet again, respect to all of them again. The challenges that I've overcome in my recovery are just simply crazy. From having relationships, from medical to to physical, to emotional. I can tell you thousands of them, but I can tell you how to get out of it. So if anyone wants to ever speak about something, I've heard of actually a situation now where a 32-year-old was dumped on their grandparents, on his grandparents, and he's keeping them awake the whole night, slamming cupboards, going crazy, and yet I feel sorry for them, you know. I wish I could like just help, but we can't always help anyone. So if this story trends tonight, it surely will help everyone else. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this recovery system. And I can't express the gratitude I have for being sober again, for having what I have, for staying in a beautiful flat with an amazing person, Joni, where we can experience this life together, where we have our difficulties and our troubles, but we experience and we appreciate those, because when the good times come, it becomes even better. And that's what we strive for. We strive for those moments. I strive for the family with the white picket fence, the nice house, cars outside, and the dog running around. Those are the things that have changed in my life, where it's just amazing how things were back in addiction, where I would just like to, I don't know, just drug the whole day. Today, where it's changed my mind completely, where my family could be happy. So anyway, I just want to say thank you so much, guys. It's been amazing to share again for a change. It's been an amazing trip how this last 2-3 months has changed, or has proven to be a difficult time outside there. If we don't listen to what our mentors have to say and our parents, we would not get as far today as whatever. Our parents know better, and yet again, yes, I can't even say, I'm like tearing up now. We have been robbed a lot from our addiction. And the gratitude enough to everyone. I just can't say thank you enough to everyone for helping me where I am. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Mr. Hall and to RAEL as well for helping me where I am, bringing me back to where life is. Thank you for helping me get back to a normality. And gratefulness is only so. Whoever needs it, whoever needs help, please help. Please reach out. Please give us a shout. RAEL is the best place for anyone to help. And I just, my heart and my soul go out to everyone else that is struggling with addiction this evening. And just know that there is a life after addiction. If you want it, you will get it. And you'll always make a plan, as I made a plan for my drugs. So yeah, I think that could be it. And thank you, Diane. Yes, God forgives me, yes, and I know that. Thank you, Mr. Hall. Thank you, RAEL. Thank you, Mr. Schuler. Thank you for the sober living. And thank you for everyone that is part of my life. Thank you for everyone that Thank you for everyone that went through with me, took my shit, and was able to see the better end with me at the end of the day. And yeah, have a beautiful night. God bless, and good luck. We love you all, and we all do recover if we believe we wanted to. So great. Have a lovely night, guys. Speak again. Bye.